liberal nationalism. How nationalism was brought or took place. Now here E represents in the economic sphere, that is economic development. How the liberals played an important role in developing the economic condition of a country. So before this, there was restriction on the movement of goods, movement of people, and movement of capital. So the economic development in Europe was quite slow. They have to face so many barriers, restrictions. So till restrictions are imposed, economic development cannot be faster. The society will not develop very smoothly. So what was done? These barriers were removed, which was so abolish state imposed restrictions on the movement of goods and capital, as I said, what we call it as toll tax, right, or trade barrier. When you move from one area to another, you have to pay certain amount of tax. So because of these taxes as different boundaries are crossing the province or the state, it was quite difficult for traders to carry out a smooth business. Example, as we all are aware, familiar, that Germany itself was divided into 39 confederations, or I can say 39 states. And in these 39 states, there were 11 barriers. At 11 places, the traders have to pay tax. And at each place, they had to pay 5% tax. So 5% into 11, 55%. So if you have done a business of 100 rupees, out of that 100 rupees, you had to give 55 rupees as a tax to the government of the different states. So the profit margin for the businessman was very less. After so much hard work, dedication, your earning is 45 rupees. So there was need for abolition of these state imposed rules and regulations. So as I gave the example, the same thing we have, Germany having 39 confederations, each having own currency, weight and measures, right? So these were the restrictions. So we had to remember the measures. Then 11 custom barriers, as I gave you the example. So here it is a given example. If a trader wants to move from Hamburg to Nuremberg, he has to pay custom duty at 11 places, and at each place the trader has to give 5% custom duty, as I explained. So that the same example we have discussed here for you. Further, giving example, once these barriers were removed, so how these barriers were removed? So for that, Zollverein, or we can call it as custom union. So this was formed in the year 1834. Prussia, one of the state of Germany, right? It took the initiative to start this Zollverein or custom union. So it means now there will be no tariff barriers. It will be reduced. So as we have abolished tariff barriers and reduced currency from 30, that is 3030, to 2. So previously in Germany, 30 currencies were there in the different states. So exchange becomes quite difficult for these traders. So what Prussia did by making Zollverein or custom union, okay, now from 30 different types of currency, it will be reduced to 2 currency only. So in the entire Germany, only 2 currencies will be there, and traders, they can use any of them. To make the trade even more faster, growing smoothly, reaching to the different part of the Europe, networks of railways were developed. As we have learned in geography, chapter number 7, in class 10, lifelines of national economy. So we consider communication and transportation as lifelines of Indian or any economy. If you have a very good communication and transportation, the development of that particular country will be faster than any other country. Why? As per the demand and supply, you can communicate with the suppliers, with the manufacturers, and the deal will be done. So immediately, due to the good network of roadways, railways, waterways, airways, immediately the product or goods will be supplied as per your need to the doorstep. So that is possible when we have a good network of railways or transportation. So here railways were developed so that it can strengthen economy of the country. So this is how the economic development took place in Europe. Now we talk about the new conservatism during or after 1815. So we all are aware that when Napoleon Bonaparte was defeated in 1815 by the combined force of Britain, Russia, Prussia and Austria. So after that, great difference came in the thinking of the conservatives. They now thought that modernization was needed for them. A successful person or the society or a country is one that moves along with the waves, not against the waves. So if modernization in the lifestyle, modernization in the thought, and in different way if modernization is taking place, if not immediately, slowly you need to follow those norms. Then only you will survive in the present era. So let's see. So as I discussed, after Napoleonic War that took place in 1815 and Napoleon was defeated, the conservative government was driven by the spirit of conservatism. Again we want to go back to conservatism. That is, monarchy should be brought to power, what we will be learning later on. Bourbon dynasty should be restored. So the belief that traditional institutions like church, monarchy, property and family should be left untouched. That's what the conservative believed. They believed that there should be no change in this. They should be restored as it was during Louis XVI times. because they believe that is the base of the society, and no doubt it is. But you cannot be conservative by ideas. You need to be modernized. The change is the law of nature. You need to change according to the law, according to the nature. Then only your development will be better and faster. But these conservatives, they never wanted. They wanted the society to run according to their terms and conditions. That's why they said no changes should be brought in these agencies. But as I said, slowly even they realize modernization will strengthen traditional institutions, what we have learned like church, family, property, army, etc. They will be lessened with more techniques, methods, arms and ammunitions, technology. So they realized that. So state will become more effective and will have a strong army. Right? So if they adopt modernization, autocratic monarchy will be having modern army, will be having more efficient bureaucracy, and a strong economy will be there. This will lead them to have more grip on the society. And for that, little bit change they need to do in the society. That's why they abolished serfdom and feudalism. Minor change they brought. They did not brought drastic change. So what they did? They abolished serfdom and feudalism from their society. So it's quite obvious. Common people will have sympathy or respect for these aristocrats. No, now they have changed. The conservatives are thinking for us. They are trying to work for our development and welfare. So that bonding will be developed. That's what they took the advantage and abolished serfdom and feudalism. Now we will learn about Treaty of Vienna that was signed in 1815. So as I discussed, Napoleon Bonaparte was defeated by the combined force of Britain, Russia, Prussia and Austria in the year 1815. Finally, a treaty was signed by all with Napoleon Bonaparte, that is the representative of Britain, Russia, Prussia and Austria. They all met at Vienna and the treaty was signed among them. The Congress which met at Vienna was hosted by Duke Metternich. Now, what was this treaty all about? What were the terms and conditions that were mentioned in this? So, point number 1, Bourbon dynasty restored to power, means they wanted that the Bourbon dynasty which was thrown during the French Revolution by the Jacobin, the same dynasty should come to power once again. It means the rule of conservative will be implemented again. 2, France lost its territories. So, all the territories that were conquered by Napoleon during his time, all those overseas territories were distributed among the allies. Means among Britain, Russia, Prussia and Austria. And to see that in future France or maybe the new ruler in future does not repeat the history what Napoleon has done. So to control that, series of new states were created around the French boundary or border. Which were those states? So in the northern part of the France, Kingdom of Netherlands was created, which included at that time country called Belgium. In the south, Genoa was added to Piedmont, means this place was given to Piedmont in the south. So they will keep watch on the France. If they do not start conquering like Napoleon Bonaparte. In the western part, Prussia got the new areas which was created. In the southeast, Italy was, that is part of Italy was given to Austria, and in east, Poland was given to Russia, and Saxony was given to Prussia. But Germany, which was at that time under the control of Napoleon, nothing was done with it. It means it was left untouched. No distribution, nothing. It was as it is. And all these things was done with Napoleon or with France just to bring the monarchy rule and conservatism back to power. So if it is asked what was the aim of Treaty of Vienna, this is what you need to write. The perfect answer or the best answer to restore monarchy and conservatism. So in the exam, this is asked for 3 to 5 marks. What was Treaty of Vienna? Or Treaty of Vienna was harsh and humiliating. Or what were the terms and conditions of Treaty of Vienna?